Oh, do I? I'd like to call this meeting of the Ann Arbor Downtown Development Authority open to order.
Well,
Can we have roll call?
Yes, so here on Wednesday, September 7th, 2016, roll call, Bob Gunsel, Rick Clough, Howard Lazarus,
Here.
Joan Lowenstein,
Here.
Darren McKinnon,
Present.
Al McWilliams,
Here.
John Boat,
Here.
Risha Narayan,
Here.
Keith Orr, John Split,
Here.
Phil Weiss.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Great, thank you. All right, audience participation. We have one person signed up, Ray.
Sniveling.
Today
I'm speaking, I'm not speaking on the commission side, I'm speaking as the coordinator of the Downtown Ann Arbor Historical Street Exhibit Program. And as many of you know, this is a national and state prize-winning program that had its origin 28 years ago in the ideas of what was then the Citizens Advisory Council for the Downtown Development Authority. The DDA, among others, gave us a total of $50,000 in 3 parts to get this $1 million program going. We now have 23 transparent frames in the downtown. We now have almost 70 of our wall images and pedestals developed within it. And all of these relate to historical themes, particularly the glass panels, where the concept is you look at the past and you see through the past the present. And all of these exhibits are currently owned, proudly owned, I think, by the city of Ann Arbor. Although every year we generously share our goals and our experiences in answer to numerous inquiries from cities and towns throughout Michigan and the nation. Every year, hundreds of students are conducted on organized tours of the downtown exhibits. And the Ann Arbor District Library provides a summer game for kids, teens and adults that includes our exhibits and appeals to not hundreds but thousands of voluntary players using our historical exhibits and website as a part of their focus. If you've not already seen it, you can just go to our website. All you need to do is go to Ann Arbor Street Exhibits, and you're on our website, which includes an 8-minute film and also the whole story of the street exhibit program and how it works. And of course, that was financed by the Ann Arbor District Library. Last year, on November 10th, as a result of the work that we've done, we gathered, many of us, and some of you were there, in the Nichols Arcade to celebrate with our usual speeches, and food, dinner, all of that sort of business, and also some music, and some of us danced at that particular event because that was going to be our last exhibit. But then along came Darren and associates from First Martin, and they wanted an exhibit to go on the walls of the former bus station on West Huron. So we worked on that in April of last year. We had another wonderful party in the new hotel, and with everybody there celebrating that, and we call that our last exhibit. And now we're in a situation where Peter Hayden has come forward and given us $15,000 and wants to have an exhibit, which we previously had planned to do, in front of his buildings, his historic buildings on East Washington Street. So now on November 21st, we're planning on having another one for our last exhibit, which will take place at that particular point. So there'll be a big party, and we're going to have Monties and all of that sort of stuff. And this one is really going to be our last. That particular point. That one is on the whole idea of preserving Ann Arbor's architectural and social history. And we could go on adding historical exhibits with the community, and the community is willing to pay for it. One minute, willing to pay for it. But instead what we're doing this year, and I want you to be aware of this because you're going to be hearing more about it, we're going to make our exhibits, all of our exhibits, interactive. We're going to do a pilot program this year so that the exhibits will talk to you. Instead of reading about John F. Kennedy giving the speech, you will hear John F. Kennedy. And there will be local people who will be resource people who will also present the information on those at the various sites, and all you need to do is just do a click on your cell phone or wherever the gadget is in order to do that. But in addition to that, what we're also going to do is finally, we're going to have a system where you can have voluntary tours on weekends, and that will be a core program this year. And we will also have a situation in which if you're sitting at a restaurant, a bar, or a bank, there'll be a card there that tells you about an exhibit that you can take in the area yourself. And there will be a reward given if you take that particular exhibit. But again, all you need to do is walk through, you do your click, and you can do the exhibit, and afterward get a reward from one of the local business people. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Is there any other audience participation? All right, moving on. DDA members communications. I'll kick it off. I would like to welcome Darren McKinnon, who's our newest board member. Darren is not a stranger to these hallowed halls. They're hallowed, right? Yeah. And has been involved in a lot of projects, and we are excited to have him on board. Darren, do you have any words to say to the audience?
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So, is there any other member communication? All right.
I did have one. Actually.
Yeah, please.
So, picking up the Greenway torch that Sandy Smith used to carry, there is a meeting next Wednesday, September 19th at 8:30, the Greenway Master Plan Citizens Advisory Council meeting across the street at Council Chambers.
Great.
Open to the public.
Great. Moving on, Executive Director of Communications, Susan.
So just a few minutes before the meeting started, I got my content. The Michigan Municipal League has showcased our artwork that we are doing in partnership with the Arts Alliance in the city of Ann Arbor called Power Up, where those signal boxes, which have had a lot of graffiti and light. It's wonderful. They're showcasing it as a best practice for the rest of the state. So I want to give kudos to the board. I got the front cover, but we all share the kudos. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Susan. All right, next up are the minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes for July and August?
So moved.
Second.
Great. Are there any changes or errors or omissions that anyone saw from the minutes? Nope. All right, seeing none, can I have a vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Minutes are approved. Subcommittee reports. We have, first up, Partnerships and Economic Development. Joan and Al. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Would you like to have this one?
Okay, since neither of us could remember exactly what happened because it was so long ago, we had our partnerships meeting, which was just with DDA members, and got to hear about an update on our 2016 downtown report. Susan, is the report done now, Amber?
It is in draft form. It's nearing completion, and we expect to have it finished by the end of the month.
Okay,
So we
great.
can bring that to the next committee meeting.
Okay, thank you. So that, for those who don't remember, our downtown report has data on building permits, new businesses opening, special event, residential sales, and also crime statistics. And it is, we have heard, used by a lot of brokers in the area. It's used by the Convention Visitors Bureau, used by a lot of people to promote our downtown, give people information. So that was pretty much it. And then our next meeting is going to be next Wednesday, September 14th at 9 a.m. And that's our partnership meeting where we have both DDA members and the partners who come from AATA, et cetera.
Great. All right, next up is capital improvements. John?
Thank you. As you all know, we have 3 projects underway simultaneously. Southview, 5th and Detroit, and Huron Street. Southview is first up and is moving along nicely. Right now it's in review by the city project management folks, and at this point no significant issues have arisen. So our hope is that it will be on schedule to bid in October. So it's going to start being first one of these projects going out and turning to reality, which will also give us good budget checks for the other projects. 5th and Detroit, the project team has been looking at curb alignments and pedestrian crossings, which you may remember is really maybe the single most key issue of this functionally. Trying to move pedestrians and bicycles and baby carriages and cars and all that in that area is critical. So I expect that the traffic folks will be in involved in that and looking at the level of service in the streets and all those things. So I think that that'll be a key point of discussion at our upcoming meeting. I'm hoping we'll have materials and information available, so it's important to come to this next meeting. Huron Street, project team's just getting going with MDOT to work on the surveys and again traffic study, which is another key element for Huron Street to take a close look at what the car numbers are looking like. And we will also have an opportunity at our next meeting to start reviewing some of that material. When, Amber, you were saying in October, can you tell us when we expect to have survey and traffic study information available? I just noticed that you said in October, so they're not going to have anything ready for us to talk about in September.
No.
Okay.
So September will be focused just on Fifth and Detroit. We will need your feedback on kind of the range of alternatives that we start taking a closer look at. In the following month in October, we would like to do a walk of Huron and start talking about our goals for the project and the major issues and opportunities. And at that same time, we'll be working on the traffic counts and the survey. And then we'll really get into the alternatives in the following months.
Perfect. Thank you. That's about it. Anyone have any questions, concerns? Our next meeting is Wednesday, September 14th. Please, at 11 a.m. Please make note that that is a week earlier than usual. So if you have in your phone on your regular schedule, you might have to adjust it. September 14th. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Finance Committee, Phil, you're taking over.
I'm pinch hitting for Marie this month. Super sub, that's right. We met last week and the committee reviewed the fiscal year end 2016 unaudited financial reports. To me, the most important stuff is on page 26 and 27 of your packet. To summarize, we were well underspent last year to the tune of about 3.7 plus one, about $5.5 million, mostly due to some timing issues on some of the major projects. You can see $2 million net excess of revenue over expenditures on page 27 under the parking maintenance fund. That was due to the timing of the 4th and William project, which will be done. What was the date on that? I can't remember.
Winter of 17.
Winter of 17. So you can see we're well within budget on everything. The audit materials have been assembled and will be turned over to the auditor this week. Joe, do you have anything else to add to this? No. Anybody have any questions? Our next meeting is Tuesday, September 27th at 1 p.m.
Great, thank you, Phil. Operations Committee, John, it's all you.
First on pages, do we have pages?
Yeah.
40 through 49 in your sheets is the monthly parking report. And if there are any questions regarding that, please ask Joe Morehouse. Hope everybody's had a chance to look it over. Next, resolution to approve the purchase of multi-space pay machines, page XX. Has anybody located that?
50.
Thank you. On page 50, I would like to move that resolution. We have in our budget, and we'll be adding about 100 new pay stations to our parking system. I believe that the numbers are currently 75. We're adding an additional 100. Joe, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Morehouse received 3 bids. He went over those bids and recommended to the committee that we purchase digital brand equipment, which is the equipment we currently have. And the committee is recommending that we go ahead and follow through with Joe's recommendation. And any questions regarding this, I might be able to answer, or Joe.
Maybe not as much of a question, but just for folks who are listening in on this. If I understand correctly, the major part of the expansion is on the north side of Huron Street.
There's a map in your packet, so yes.
And is it the case that in general what we're finding is that people are shifting and adapting pretty quickly to using the new machines? And you know, I think we heard Joe.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Joe may want to speak on it.
Just as much as anything, you know, for the public to become aware of what this means to them and where I'm coming from.
Yes, the public is like the fact that they can pay with a credit card. They don't have to pay with change. As our rates have grown, it's been burdensome to come up with $1.60 per hour in change.
Are there any other?
Some of the public likes to use the app.
And we will
4% of the public, I believe.
yes, but we'll hopefully be getting a more popular app as we switch out these machines.
And when old meters are removed, all the holes are patched, and you know.
We reuse the posts for space markers.
Oh, right. Okay. And same space markers as we've had in the past, and
yes, we have. We're going to put out as soon as this is done an order for those space markers to be produced.
And the machines will function in a similar fashion as the existing machines.
I don't think anybody would know the difference between the two machines.
That's the right answer.
We'll say that the committee asked that I go back to the original manufacturer or the bid and see if we could lower it to the competition, and we were successful in that. So we did get a concession.
Well done.
Thanks.
Joe, I didn't ask at committee, what are we doing with the old meter heads? Do we have a use for them?
There is a secondary market.
Okay.
We will reach out to some brokers to see if they want to take them away and refurbish and then send off to another city that wants to use them. There's not much of a market, but there is some.
Better than scrap?
Better than scrapping them, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Any other discussion or questions? Joe is about to sit down, so now would be an appropriate time to pick back up. All right, seeing none, let's put this to a vote. I'll just say the motion. The motion is a resolution to purchase and install on-street parking pay stations. Does anyone feel like we need to read the motion? Okay, great. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. Back to you, John.
Next on my list is the Fourth and William construction, new stair and elevators. The new elevator first new elevator is complete and running. They are currently demolishing the old elevator shaft, and again, a second new elevator will go in its place. And demolition is moving quickly. It looks like they almost have it down, and I'm assuming they'll start pouring footings and building up in the very near future. Any questions on that one?
Yes.
You're full of questions.
Me again. So are they able to use the elevator now?
Yes.
Concurrently with the demolition? I thought
Yes.
there had been a challenge with that.
Yes, they
Elevator's
are
up and running.
They are able to do it. Yeah, I understand it was down for a very brief period of time after it opened, but it is up and running.
Good.
I sure hope so, because I used it, so.
It's
I was
fast
supposed to.
in comparison.
Yeah, it was. It's very
Yes.
fast.
Parking structure repairs. Repairs at Library Lane were completed in August. September work will include miscellaneous concrete and other repairs at Ann Ashley, and concrete repairs and exterior tuck pointing work at Liberty Square. Any questions on that? All right, our next ops meeting is Wednesday, September 28th at 11 a.m.
Great, thank you, John. Next up on the agenda, executive committee met about an hour and a half ago, and since it was a light meeting, we just had a nice robust discussion about regional transit and how much we all are all about it. So
We also discussed a slogan.
we did discuss slogan. We will save that for a later date. We're not ready to unveil said slogan. Next executive committee meeting is before the next board meeting at 11 a.m., October 5th. All are welcome. Any new business from anybody? Okay, great. Any other audience participation? My timer is ready and able. Got it down now? No, nobody here? Okay. All right. With that, can I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
All right. Do we vote on adjournment? All those in favor of adjourning?